What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Olu Nation is still your boy, Rodrick Zolunya. And if you don't know that it's your boy, it means that you have not subscribed to the channel. So guys, do me a huge favor. Go down below and subscribe to the channel because we are officially on the road to 1K subscribers. To the OGs of the channel, welcome back. Welcome the new guys and tell them that here on this channel, we run by two principles. The first principle is that here, we do not watch porn, and the second principle is that here we do not masturbate, because those are the first two principles that are going to take you from being average to being far from average. In today's video, I want us to talk about the number one sign that you could be a feminine man. So let's get right into the video. Now, gentlemen, as a man, a strong masculine man, the last thing that you ever want to be seen as is feminine. Now, there are so many signs that you could give off that display that you are a feminine man, whether deliberately or not. However, the number one sign that you could be a feminine man is being overly emotional. Gentlemen, we all know that being overly emotional, is attached to women. Women are the ones who are emotional creatures. Women are the ones who are allowed to react emotionally. However, you as a man, you are never supposed to react to situations emotionally. As a man, you are always supposed to react to situations using the logical way. In short, as a man, you're always supposed to react logically to any situation that comes your way. As a man, instead of being overly emotional, instead you should be stoic. Now, stoicism simply means that you stay calm or you do not show emotions during difficult times. Gentlemen, me personally, I've reached to that level whereby if I sit down and talk to my friend, I usually tell them that I've reached to a certain level that if I have 1 million or if I lose 1 million, I'll remain the same. Nothing will change. I'll not show the emotions that I have 1 million in the bank account, or I'll not show the emotions that I've lost 1 million. I simply will remain stoic. The reason why you should stay stoic as a man is because it gives you time to find solution to your current predicament. Rather than acting or reacting overly emotional, a man will remain stoic in difficult times so that he can find solutions to his current predicament. Gentlemen, I know it's easier said than done that you should stop being overly emotional and you should start being stoic. I personally used to be an overly emotional guy. What do you expect when you have grown around females your whole life? Gentlemen, I've told you that for me, my dad passed away when I was 12 years. So I was left with my mom and my sister. They used to bring their friends around. Guess who I used to grow around? I grew around women. So I used to see them reacting emotionally. So that's how I thought that as a man you should also react. There was a time in campus, in my second year, when I had a situation with a fellow student. We were in the laboratory doing practicals. I was a science student in campus, so we were in the lab doing experiments. I don't know what happened, and within a span of few minutes, me and that guy, I was ready to throw hands with that guy. Later on, after the situation calmed down, is when I realized that me acting overly emotional would have cost me maybe discontinuation in my education. Most men usually realize that being overly emotional is a disadvantage to them later on after they've already reacted to that situation. Tupac said in one of his songs, "In times of danger, don't freeze. That's the time you should be a G. In times of danger, remain stoic. Do not be overly emotional, gentlemen. That simply gives you, or it gives off, that you are a feminine man. Being overly emotional gives off that you're a feminine man. Instead, you should remain stoic and try to find solutions to your current predicament, gentlemen. Gentlemen, listen. Most overly emotional men, most men who are emotional are in prison. You have to believe me, guys. Most men who are in prison are emotional men. Why? Because they could not control their emotions. They were overly emotional men, so they could not control their emotions, which landed them in prison. Guys, there's no need for you to act as a tough guy all the time. There's no need for you to react emotionally over every situation. Guys, me personally, I've never been in prison, but I've been held in a prison cell. I've been held in a prison cell for a couple of days, and I'll tell you that it's not a good experience. Now imagine, just because you are an overly emotional man or an overly emotional guy, that lands you in prison for even just 5 years. Guys, I believe that none of you guys want to land in prison. Remember, I've told you, most overly emotional men are in prison, and that's not a place where you guys want to land in. Gentlemen, as a man who is supposed to automatically assume leadership roles, we all know that men are supposed to be leaders. So, as a man who is automatically supposed to assume leadership roles, you are not supposed to be overly emotional. You are not supposed to make decisions depending on your emotions. Instead, you're supposed to make logical decisions. Gentlemen, remember, I've told you, as a man, you are a leader, either in your family, either in society, either in business. As a man, you become a leader automatically. So you have to make logical decisions. Also, as a man, you are not supposed to be overly emotional to the point that you go and start venting your problems to your woman or venting your problems to women. Why? Women do not respect men who are overly emotional. They see you as weak and they will weaponize it. Most feminine women, gentlemen, believe me, they do not like overly emotional men. Why? Because they expect you to be the strong masculine leader in the relationship. They expect you to have that strong masculine frame that they can follow. So being overly emotional as a man is a disadvantage to you. Now, gentlemen, being stoic is a trait that all of us gentlemen have to develop. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy to develop the trait of being stoic. Even me personally, it took me some time before I developed the trait of being stoic. However, you can develop that trait with practice. Remember, as a man, I've told you, you're always supposed to react logically to situations. Do not be the kind of man who reacts emotionally or who is an overly emotional man. Remember, in this world, it's only women's emotions that are accommodated, never a man's emotions. We've come to the end of the video, guys. If this type of information might be helpful to anyone, do not hesitate to send them this video, share it with them. Also, if this type of information was helpful to you, do not hesitate to leave a huge like on the video. Comment your thoughts down below. If you've got any ideas for future videos, or you've got any contradictions with whatever I'm saying in these videos, the comment section is open for you guys. Also, very important of all, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, because we are officially on the road to 1K subscribers. And also, don't forget to turn on post notifications to never miss a video whenever I make an upload. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. All Nation, we out. Peace and love, guys.